my favorite. My favorite tools are here. Here, these are my favorite tools. Okay, right? So you can see trend line doesn't have a star. Horizontal line doesn't have a star. Ray doesn't have a star. So if I want to make these ones my favorite, I'm gonna double tap and hold. Can you see? It says add to favorite. Then I say yes. Okay. I hold, I tap and hold, I add to my favorite. I tap and hold, I add to my favorite. So this is how I am making trend lines tools to be my favorite. So like I said, these tools, they are lined from trend lines, Gann and Fibonacci. When you tap on Gann and Fibonacci, you will see what type of tools are under Gann and Fibonacci. So far on Gann and Fibonacci, I normally use Fib retracement. It is a tool, as well as the Fib channel. That's what I normally use when I'm doing my technical analysis if I want to use any under Gann and Fibonacci. Okay, that's why I have given a star to those two. Okay, I want to look at tools that are under forecasting and measurement. Ladies and gentlemen, you reach a point where you're gonna need to learn how to measure your take profit. Okay, you want to measure your take profit from point A to point B. What tool do you use? There are tools here. For example, price range. It is a tool that you measure your take profit with. So I have given this price range tool a star because I want it to be under my favorite. For example, let me go back to the chart. Let me go back to the chart. Okay. All right. So you can see that these tools, they are appearing here now. They are coming on my screen. Can you see here these tools? They are now on my left side of the screen simply because of this. Right? Simply because of this, I have allowed them to appear. Okay? They are appearing here. All right? Because of this line over here, this icon here. Can you see at the bottom here, there is this that's called show favorites on chart. This button is on. That button is on. So these tools, they are appearing on my screen. Here they are, because that button is on. If I go and switch off that button, they are going to move away from my screen. If I switch off this button, they are going to go away. Can you see? They are gone. They are no longer crowding my screen. They are gone. So if you happen to see that your tools are displaying, just come to the tools icon, then you switch off, check this button if it is on or it is off. Okay? Check this button here. If you see that your tools are displaying on your screen, it is because of this button on this icon. It normally comes right at the bottom. So you switch it off, then your screen is clear. Okay, your screen is not crowded. So I was giving an example. I want to measure take profit using a tool which is under my favorite or under my forecasting and measurement. So there is a price tool here that I want to use to measure take profit with price range. So I'm going to tap on this icon. Okay, it will come in a dotted line like this. Can you see? So I want to measure, for example, I want to measure from here where the price is. Okay, then there is a small dot. Can you see the small dot there where the two lines are meeting? There is a small dot there. So I'm gonna click on the small dot here. Can you see this small dot? There's a small dot in the center of these two lines. There is this line, there is this line, right? So in the center, there is this small dot. So I'm gonna tap in the small dot so that I am able to move. If I scroll to the top, you can see it is showing me how far from where I put the icon to where I have scrolled it. If I wanna come down here, it will show me also how far from here, from this point coming down here. So if I am measuring my margin call, it means from current price to this far, it is 1.35%. Can you see there? I'm trying to give you an example how to use some tools on TradingView. For example, the price range tool. You want to measure your take profit. So you want to start from where current price is, because that's where you always start. So you bring that tool on your screen, you tap on the dot, the small dot, so that it gives you option to pull it either to the top or downwards. Okay, are you seeing this? Can you see what I'm doing here? So I can measure, let's say that this is my point of entry. Okay, and I want to measure my margin call drop. In case the price goes down, I want my robot to buy. Then I can measure my margin call drop that way. You can also use the same thing to measure take profit. Okay, you can use the same tool to measure take profit, but we're gonna learn more when we start learning about drawing support and resistance levels. So there are tools here that you are going to use to draw your support and resistance. Okay, then you'll be able now to make use of this tool where you are able to measure distance between two lines. Okay, the distance between two lines, you are going to use it to you're gonna use the price range tool to measure the distance between the two lines. So far, this is the icon that you are going to use to check, okay, to determine the distance from point A to B. It is not only the price range tool which is here, there is also the vertical line. Can you see this vertical line here? I do have the vertical line here tool that you can also use to draw lines with. Okay, yes, it is not only the vertical line. You can see I do have the horizontal line as well. Okay, so if I want to use the horizontal line, the same icon, it will come on my screen. Okay, so if I want to draw a line here horizontally, okay, then I'm gonna just tap on the middle, on the small dot there. Then I release. Can you see I have drawn a line? But I am using here horizontal. I am using what? I'm using horizontal line here. That's what I am bringing on the screen. This is horizontal line. So I want to draw two lines here. Okay, can you see? I am drawing lines using the horizontal line. If I want to draw lines using vertical, can you see the vertical icon here? This one, the vertical icon. Okay, I want to draw lines vertically. So I'm gonna just tap on the vertical icon. It will come the same way like any other tool. So this one is for drawing lines vertically. Okay, can you see? I was drawing horizontally, but right now I'm drawing vertically. I'm just giving you examples how to use these tools. So when teachers are coming here, they are teaching you how to draw support and resistance. And then they come here, they click on other parts of TradingView, and then they bring these things on the screen. Then you'll be like, how do they do it? Which app are they using to draw those lines? No, they are here. These tools, they are right here. They are not using another app. No, they are using the same TradingView app. These tools are inside it. Okay, so I have drawn a vertical line here. and I want to remove it, I'm gonna just tap on the line. When I tap on the line, you see it comes up. Can you see? When I tap on the line, there is this icon here. There are these icons that are coming on top here. So I want to remove this line. Then I'm gonna tap on the dustbin basket. I'm gonna tap on the dustbin basket. I remove the line. Okay, the same applies to these horizontal lines I have drawn. The horizontal lines I have drawn, this one and this one. I want to take them out of my screen. I'll just tap on the line, then I tap the basket. I tap on the line, I tap the basket. I tap on the line, I tap the basket. So my screen is clean, is clear. Are we still friends? Are we still friends, ladies and gentlemen? We are still navigating our TradingView app. You needed to know how to use those tools when we are doing our technical analysis. It is step by step. You're gonna learn how to draw those lines. Okay, there is a class that will come up. You're gonna learn how to draw those lines. But I just want you to know, where do you get the tool to draw those lines? So it is right here on TradingView. So you can sort those tools and make them your favorites, so that all of them, they are on one place. Is this okay, ladies and gentlemen? I know we started late. We could have covered a lot. We could have covered a lot. We could have covered a lot. But I think so far we are good. We'll try tomorrow by God's grace. We'll start on time. If we're not going to have some challenges in the morning, but I pray that we shouldn't have, so that we proceed with our classes. Yes, I'm still here until next week. We needed to acquaint ourselves with the TradingView application. We needed to understand what is a candlestick. We need to understand parts of a candlestick. We also need to go deeper and try to understand different types of candles. When they emerge, when they appear, do they send any message to you as a trader? Do they signal anything to you as a trader that the market is ready, the market is not ready for you to trade? Looking at how the candles are coming up, are developing. Okay, that is the whole idea why we are starting from here. We want to understand candlesticks so that you are able to understand price action. If you learn how to draw support and resistance lines, you are drawing on a chart. You need to understand what is a chart. Okay, you can't draw support and resistance on candles that you don't know what do they represent. So first things first. First things first. Anyone with a question? I would like us to end here for today. Anyone with a question? You can raise your hand or you can just type it in the chat. Anyone with a question? I'm stopping to share screen now.